Kia ora koutou. I just wanted to tell you another little story. Hey, before I joined Auckland Council, I was at Red Cross, and I was part of the humanitarian and welfare support that Red Cross provided both for the Christchurch earthquakes and for Japan. 2011 there were massive earthquakes, and obviously you know about Christchurch, but in Japan as well, where they also had a huge tsunami, a 10-metre high wave that wiped out about 600 kilometres of coastal land. And as part of Red Cross, I also worked with a Global Disaster Preparedness Centre, just based in Washington DC, and we looked at what made communities resilient and what we can do to prepare for disruptions, disasters, and how to bounce back, recover from those things. So Christchurch, for example, was just recovering from the earthquake the year before, but Japan had been really well prepared. They had really effective earthquake resistant building standards, strong, well-developed seawalls, and had practiced emergency drills and had stockpiles of equipment and supplies in all the right places. But the key thing that determined in both those disasters whether a community was robust and resilient and could recover from them was connectedness. And those communities with strong and well-developed social fabric were the ones that were able to prepare better and recover quicker. Confronted with events that affect our whole communities, we often look to weave ourselves together and we care more deeply for each other. And you see that now as well. But what, I guess, does this mean for us going forward? I think one of the most important things that we need to do when we're thinking about what we do differently, which we're doing now, and how we can better support our communities, is to look deeply for opportunities to bring people back together, to balance safe social distancing with caring social connectedness. And I believe a key part of our future role is to focus on strengthening and enriching what I'm calling our social fabric, and finding and filling the gaps where that fabric isn't strong and tough and resilient. And it needs an approach that sometimes, to be fair, not very often, called weaving, as in weaving our social fabric back together. In my head, weaving's a way of life and a state of mind, not a set of actions. It's about the spirit of caring you bring to each interaction with each other and with somebody else. It's a willingness to open and be loving, whether you get anything in return. As humans, we long for honest, deep connections, and weavers make the effort to build those connections and make others feel valued, to find and embrace those that need our support. A weaver views their community as their home and tries to make it loving and welcoming. A weaver treats neighbours as family, regardless of their outward differences. And a weaver finds meaning and joy and connection and caring for others. Perfect example of this are those amazing efforts that our fitness teams are making to connect with our most vulnerable members and give them the support when they need it the most. And I know that given every opportunity, you guys are looking out for each other and your own families and communities as well. So I think going forward, as we plan our programs and we collectively work out how we're going to get through this together, that we need to take on that role of weavers in our communities. So that's just a thought that I wanted to leave you with, and to remind you that you're a very, very awesome team. I know that you're all up to this. Kia kaha, kia mau, and aroha nui. Be strong, look after yourselves, wash your hands, keep in touch, and love you all. You're all awesome.